good evening. We are on our second season of OSDIA Facebook Live interviews. My name is Mark DeNunzio, and I'm a trustee for the Sons of Italy Foundation. And I'm hosting tonight with a co-host, Dr. Mary Kovach, who is calling in from Cincinnati, Ohio, and is a professor at Miami of Ohio University. And we're joined by our moderator at the Sons and Daughters of Italy National Office, Justin Smith, who will be fielding questions. So if you have questions, just put them into the comments section and Justin will accumulate them. And during the interview, we will be choosing some and asking our honored guests those questions. Well, as you can see, we have a sports legend with us, Doug Flutie, and his wife, Laurie. And the reason that we have them is not only because he's a sports legend, but because our Sons of Italy Foundation is a partner with he and his wife, who are the co-founders of the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism. So that's the connection between the Fluties and the Order Sons and Daughters of Italy. And again, welcome, Doug and Laurie. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for your time and your willingness to get on the Zoom with us.
It's our pleasure. Glad to be a part of it. And we appreciate all the support that the Sons and Daughters of Italy have been with our foundation for close to 10 years now.
All right, then tell us, both you and Laurie, how and why you started the foundation, a little bit of history and the background of that, please.
Well, we started it, our son Dougie was diagnosed with autism at age 3. We were considering what to do. We were dealing with our own situation the first year or two. But when I first signed with the Buffalo Bills, I had a little talk with Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly had started the foundation, and his son Hunter's name, Hunter's Hope, for Krabbe's disease. So it kind of, the light bulb went on, and we decided we needed to make a difference, and that Dougie was given to us for a reason. And we started our foundation back in '98, and it's been 22 years in running. And we thought initially that it would just be something local in the Boston area, and it's become nationwide and so much bigger and better than we ever could have imagined.
Even internationally, because we help those up in Canada as well. So it's really been amazing. So Dougie is now 28, and we started the foundation when he was 6 years old. So it's been 22 years now.
Okay, and tell us how and when you got started with partnering with the Sons of Italy Foundation, if you can, your remembrance, or what it's like to work with us as a foundation.
Initially, our former director of our foundation, Lisa Borges, connected us with Sons of Italy, and I went down to the dinner in DC. What was that? We said 2013, 2015. And it's just been a great relationship from day one. We have it's been over $275,000 that Sons of Italy, Sons and Daughters of Italy now have donated towards our foundation. And I've had a chance to get down to the big dinner, although like we were talking earlier, everything's Zoom now and everything's virtual, and we're talking online. It's a little different nowadays, but it's been a great rapport.
Mary, you have a couple questions, please.
Yeah. So first, thank you for joining us tonight. We know how important your message is. Can you please share one or two of the heartwarming success stories that your experience has given you as a result of your foundation?
Well, oh gosh, there's so many of them. I think one that comes to mind is Doug being the active person that he is, we really try to focus on a lot of recreational camps and things like that for those on the spectrum, because we feel it's really important just for general health and exercise, but for fun and recreation. And we decided to sponsor this sports camp called Access Sport America. And we went down with Dougie and Alexa, our daughter, and as a family just to observe. And when we went down there, we saw children on the spectrum, nonverbal to high functioning, and the joy and happiness on their faces they had just from doing water sports, whether it was windsurfing or I don't know, wakeboarding or just pulling them in a tube with a boat or anything like that. And it was just so heartwarming to see them in the canoes and all of that. Ross Lilly is the one that started this whole Access Sport America.
I went down. I had a baseball game or something that evening, right, set up. And it was set up as a PR thing. Go down, take some pictures at Access Sports America, one of these camps we've started, and we bring Dougie, and I'm going to be there for 10 minutes tops, 10, 15 minutes, go in, say hi, take some pictures. I got a game to get to, right? We get there, and this guy, Ross Lilly, comes up, Dougie, how you doing, Dougie? Blah, 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 blah. Grabs Dougie, takes him by the hand. He goes, come on, we're going to go windsurf. Laurie's like, no, you're not. Dougie is not good. Ross had him on our impression of what would have happened.
Really, we went back and forth. I'm arguing with him. Yes.
Was Dougie was going to be in the water in 30 seconds. And Ross had him on a windsurf. Within 2 minutes, they're flying across the lake. Dougie's standing up, holding on with an aide, and just a big smile on his face. And I think number one, what hit us were the people, the volunteers, Ross himself, the energy level that they have is absolutely amazing. And number two, don't sell your children short of anything. And it really opened our eyes quite a bit. And it opened our eyes to the fact that it's limitless, what the potential is for Dougie.
I just think it really, in seeing all the children there, I mean, they just loved it. And that just really warmed our hearts and opened our eyes to just how much people on the spectrum can accomplish and enjoy life. So, that's one of the great stories.
And that's one of, we could do this with about 20 different organizations.
We've gone into homes and we've brought the children iPads or computers and things like that. And just to see the excitement on the faces of the individuals receiving the computers or a tricycle or anything like that. And then it warms my heart to see the look on the parents' faces to know that their child is happy. And to me, I just can't believe that it's Dougie that's helping to accomplish all these things. And it's just been amazing.
That's fantastic. Has the pandemic impacted the foundation?
Well, the pandemic, like all of us, we've had to kind of adjust and sort of figure out what to do at the beginning. And Nick and our staff has just been amazing. And we did put together a COVID relief fund to help those, through the pandemic. Initially, like me, I didn't know what the heck was happening. And I literally put our family, Doug and I, in total lockdown. I didn't even let my own daughter and son-in-law in for
no one could do it. You want to talk about lockdown? We were in lockdown for the first 6 weeks, like nobody's business.
So I know, a lot of families, mostly, because of Dougie, I didn't want him getting sick, and we couldn't get sick because then he would get sick. So anyway, I know a lot of families needed to get groceries, needed to get supplies and toilet paper, all of those things. So a lot of our relief went towards things like that to help families initially, and as well as protective equipment like masks and things like that. And then, on the tech support, when they started doing at-home learning, a lot of the families didn't have the computers or the tech stuff that they might need for that. So that's the types of things that our COVID relief went towards.
Then we were all also talking about how it's altered all of the way we work. So even our events and everything become virtual. And as we were all discussing before we actually went live, we're ahead of the game with less overhead and more people getting involved, and the bottom line is this: it amazes you how giving people really are.
Absolutely.
And how warm their hearts are and how great how much they care. It just really amazes you.
It's been an eye-opening experience, in good ways as well. So it's been all right.
Blessings of the pandemic.
Well,
Yeah.
That's
Gotta find a silver lining, right?
Right.
This interview series that we started was an offshoot of that. The original was to inform our members of the first interview we did was of our corporate accountant on how to apply for aid and the different means of coping with the pandemic. And then it's just kind of grown from there to, you know, having on featured guests and people like you. But that's it's an offshoot of the pandemic. And a lot of times you kind of have to, like you said, you got to call an audible at the line and change up the play and the way you do business. And no, thankfully we've found the answer and we're coping with it in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. We've all adapted.
Laurie, what
Yes.
advice would you give to parents after they've had a child diagnosed with autism? I'm sure that's when the doctors or whoever tells parents of a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old that they, you know, their child has autism, what kind of advice would you give to those parents?
Well, I know back when Dougie was diagnosed, of course, you kind of go into this, I don't know, panic mode, and you start thinking about the future and what's he going to be like when he's 6 and then 10 and then 18 and, you know, that type of thing. And I know for me, it was very upsetting to think about what could potentially happen in the future. And what I learned was you can't really do that to yourself. You kind of have to just take it one day at a time, stay in the moment. Things have a way of working out, and you have a way of figuring out what's going to happen when the time comes and when it happens. So honestly, and I know it sounds like kind of silly advice maybe, but honestly, one day at a time is our approach. And we've learned to do that for ourselves. And that's what I try to tell others to do, because otherwise you're going to make yourself crazy with worry. And sometimes you don't need to worry about things you're thinking about, you know, so one day at a time is my motto.
And at the time that Dougie was diagnosed, there weren't a lot of organizations in place. There weren't a lot of places to turn for help. At least now, between Autism Speaks, ourselves, and a few others,
So many organizations.
you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, you're lost. You don't know where to go for schooling. You don't know whether or not. When we were first introduced to it all, and they said Dougie should be in school 8 hours a day, full days at 3 years old, we're like, you're kidding me. He's 3 years old.
Yeah.
You know, so it just, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Go to the foundations, go to the web pages, go figure it out, get a hold of someone and ask for help and direction. And that's all you need to do is start moving in a direction, take it one day at a time, like Laurie says, and the path will open up. You'll figure out your direction and make progress. It's amazing. You know, we feel like on a day-to-day basis, we don't see the progress Dougie's making. You really don't. But all of a sudden you think back to last year or the year before and what he's doing today as opposed to what he was doing last year, it's significant. You know, the number one thing for Dougie that was an improvement that just blew me away. They were telling us that he rode a tricycle at school. This is years ago. And we're like, all right, yeah, we had a makeshift tricycle built for him at home. You know, he was a little bigger, a little older. We needed a big sturdy thing. And I couldn't get him maybe 3 pedals of the tricycle and he was done. He wanted to go back inside, watch some TV and have a snack. Done. We go to school and watch him at school. He's riding this tricycle around the gym, through a course, around cones. And who is this kid? What are they doing? Where's Dougie? Where's the kid that's at home and doesn't want to do it? So it's amazing the things that can be achieved and the progress they'll make.
And I know it's difficult and you're overwhelmed with the initial diagnosis and it's very upsetting because we've been there, but it's kind of one of the reasons we wanted to start the foundation as well, because we want to let people know that this can happen to anyone, and just the camaraderie of the families. And even for us, you know, other families have helped us get through things through our foundation. And we wanted to let people know we're there for them as well. So I like Doug said, I think reaching out and asking questions and looking for support groups and things like that is very helpful as well.
Justin, have we got any questions coming in?
Well, to be honest, we have mostly comments, and all the comments are talking about all the admiration that everyone has for both Doug and Laurie and everything they do for the autism community and to give back. And the outreach has been, it's been just pure comments of outreach to you two. And so
That's
I
very
don't think anyone is surprised by that. We do have I don't know if he's someone you know personally or just a great fan. Someone pointed out that Friday, excuse me, is a birthday for you, Doug. Is that true?
Yes, it is.
Well,
Yes, it is.
That is
happy early
birthday.
birthday. So we have some super fans out there that even know
Aw.
your birthday.
So our big, and Laurie's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? What's going on? We're going to have everybody over Saturday, but Friday's your birthday. Do we want to go to dinner? Well, I got a baseball game Friday night, so I want to play that. But before that, there's this car show where they do trunk or treat. And you
Okay.
take your car over and you do trick or treating out of the trunk of the car. And I kind of committed to some people that I might do that. And I actually have a 1966 Batmobile, and I'm going to dress as Batman and go over and do trick or treat with the kids. So this is my big trunk or treat.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great way to
big day on my
celebrate.
birthday.
Yeah, that
Even
sounds
though
like an
Doug's-
awesome.
Doug's getting older age-wise. He
I'm
does not
regressing
get
mentally.
older mentally.
Yes, I am regressing. I'm
Does
12.
does the
That's
costume
so
get
child.
more and more kind of intense every year? Is it soon we're gonna see you in the Michael Keaton Batman outfit, right?
And we make right now it's Adam West mode. Right now
Okay.
it's like strictly Adam West mode. Michael Keaton mode is a little too dark and intense for me.
Okay. The George Clooney. We'll go with the George Clooney Batman. There you go.
Well, we do appreciate all the very nice compliments and comments and things like that. And thank you, everybody. Dougie, we feel that this was Dougie's calling. So it warms my heart when people say things about the foundation, because to us, it's Dougie's legacy and it's Dougie's doing, and we're just simply his voice. So thank you all very much for your support, because it truly means the world to us as a family and as our, the foundation and everything. So thank you for that.
We honestly believe Dougie was given to us for a reason, and this is his calling, and that we, as Laurie said, we're his voice because he can't do it himself. That when we see how many, even when we talk about that virtual, we were talking about it earlier, 5K, a virtual 5K we did. All these people are out running, whether it's 5K or not, but they're videoing themselves and they're in their little outfits and they're being funny, or they're making enough. They're all Dougie's making all these people act like idiots, go out, run around and do a video and send it in. And it's really a cool thing for us.
Yeah,
That's
for
heartwarming.
sure.
Yeah,
It really is heartwarming. Absolutely.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about your 5K?
The virtual 5K, we called it what? Dougie's
Epic Adventure. So the premise behind it, we usually have our regular 5K, but now we wanted to, obviously we had to do it virtually. So we wanted to get Dougie from Natick, Massachusetts, which is where we're originally from, down to Disney World in Florida, because we currently live in Florida, and Dougie loves Disney, and Buzz Lightyear is his favorite Disney character and ride and everything. So people sent in their videos of their 5Ks, and we were able to kind of put them together. And over a period of a week, we would show different videos of Dougie working his way down to Florida from Massachusetts. So it was really cool to see all these videos. And like Doug said, all these people, a lot of them that we don't know, participating in this event. And we actually, I think we got Dougie down and back. I mean,
Yeah, it
people,
was over and above. And of course, my video, me with my attention span, I'm going for a little jog, and my daughter's a photographer. She's videotaping and all that. So I'm squirrel, ADD. I take a right turn and I go through a little playground and I run up a slide and down the slide. And as I'm coming down the slide, the bottom of the slide was about a foot of water. Yeah. And I just splashed into it and came out.
It was pretty funny.
It was fun.
So, but yeah, the event went extremely well. We raised even more money than we raised in our in-person 5K last year. I think it was like I thought it was more than that, like 200,000 or something like that. So it was an amazing success and a lot of fun. And Dougie and I did a video together. Our daughter works for the foundation in the social media part of it, Instagram, and helps with all of that. And she's actually kind of the producer of everything we do down here in Florida. So she kind of spliced together a lot of the videos that our friends and family did here in Florida. So that one came out great. And she did a lot of work on putting a lot of it together, along with Liz, who also does our social media for the foundation. So
Because of course, anyone over the age of 50 doesn't know anything about it and can't do anything tech at all. So,
I would say,
well,
anyway,
not,
you
I don't, she even has to set up my Zoom calls for me.
So anyway, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a great success. And so it was good.
Your foundation is known for the support of keeping those with autism active, fit, and social. What kind of programs accomplish that?
Go ahead.
I think that number one is when we started with me we do sports camps. We're talking about the water sports camps. We do parks. We do recreational facilities. We're involved. What's the trampoline park?
Get Air Trampoline Park.
Yeah,
Where kids go into the trampoline park and they can just jump on the trampolines and use it as therapy as well, and jump in the ball pits, and just very active, healthy things like that.
Which of course I've got to be a kid and go get involved with, and I'm running around with the kids jumping on the trampolines. But they've done a great job. Every time they you rent socks that go when they're jumping on the trampoline and all, they take the shoes off, they have sanitized socks. And every time they buy the socks, that the money goes towards our foundation from the trampoline park that they've donated over the years. And so they've made quite a few big donations to the foundation over the years. And it just, everything we do seems to be, I don't know, a little more outdoorsy, a little more recreational. And
yeah, a lot of, and
Along
Dougie
those
attends a horseback riding therapy. We support a lot of those organizations. Dougie attends Harmony Farms here in Cocoa, Florida, but just a lot of ski programs and a lot of activities like that.
what's amazing is, and when we first started out, I'm kind of the face of the foundation. So I did a lot of the PR, or get out and meet people, shake hands, do whatever to try to bring people in. Laurie was very involved and has been over the years with the grant cycle and where the money goes and being on that end of it. But after a while, you start funding these organizations, and then you go visit the organization, and all of a sudden you see hands-on the difference you're making, the smiles on like we were talking about with the water sports camp. You see the difference you're making in these individual kids' lives, and the parents, how they can't believe what their children are doing. Or we go to the trampoline park, we go wherever. And that blew me away. That's when it kind of really registered. And we had been involved in the foundation for 5 to 10 years before I think I really started getting out a lot and seeing
Well,
the individual. Yeah, that's true. While I was still playing, I was busy. But that's when it really kind of struck home, the difference that we were making. And I don't know, the difference that Dougie makes, and just seeing the individuals and the progress, it really blew me away.
Well, we can't have Doug Flutie on without asking about the pass. Okay, one of the most famous sports scenes in the history of American sports. Boston College versus Miami. I think everybody knows about the pass. That they call it the Hail Mary, the Hail Flutie. I just wanted to ask if that is your favorite memory of your sports career, or have there been other ones that have been equal to or almost equal to that? Share those with us, please.
For me personally, it's the number one play that people bring up. It's something that is an icebreaker for conversation with people. So it's number one. At the very end of my career, I did a drop kick with the New England Patriots. And those kind of became bookend moments of my career. And I said to you earlier, for me, the most significant play or game, I was in Canada, and it was kind of like a championship game to go to the Grey Cup, the one to go to the Super Bowl. And we were down by 6 with a minute on the clock, no timeouts. We had to go 88 yards into like a 35-mile-an-hour wind. We go to the length of the field, and we score that touchdown. We end up winning my first championship the week later. And that was very significant to me and very important to me. When I go back to the Hail Mary, new evidence came out this year, the 35th anniversary of the Hail Mary pass, right? We're doing all these pieces for CBS, for NBC, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking over old footage and I find a different angle. And on the play, I roll to the right and I throw the Hail Mary and we catch it and all that. Well, the tight end was supposed to be in pass protection, but I realized they were only going to rush 3 guys. And I go over, I tell the tight end, go down the backside, just get wide, go down the boundary and go long. I was planning on rolling right, hoping everybody flowed with me and maybe taking a peek back and seeing if he's open before I throw deep. I never had time to look back. I throw the Hail Mary, we catch it. The tight end came up to me after the game and he says, you know, we might have had a chance. And that's all he said, right? And I'm like, yeah, right. You would have dropped it, Pete. Forget it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward 35 years later, I see a different camera angle. Our tight end is all by himself at the 10-yard line because the guys that bump into each other and allow Gerard to catch the ball were the backside corner and the free safety all the way over on the right side of the field. The tight end is over on the left side of the field all by himself. If I throw to him, he catches it and he walks in. So it would have been a completely different play.
Yeah, but didn't he say he was going?
He said, yeah, I told Pete last year, I bumped into him after we had done this and I go, yeah, I saw a picture. Here's a picture of you wide open. He goes, yeah, but if you had thrown it to me, I probably would have dropped it. I'm glad you threw it.
And we wouldn't have had the same end result. So
No, it wouldn't have been as dramatic.
Mary, why don't you tell our viewers how they can access becoming a member and our website, please.
Okay. Before we jump to that, I want to share this picture. So I add a service learning component to my classes, and I allow students to select among 3 nonprofit organizations and then come up with a project on their own to raise funds for their selected organization. And this is one group of students that I have who selected the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation as their project. And they were extremely successful. We had 7 semesters of this, of selecting the actual charities. We've raised over $35,000. So I want to make sure you're aware of these are charities that have raised funds for your organization. And then I'll flip to the next slide. I
That's
think.
awesome.
How are they with dressing up as superheroes? Are they up for that?
I think they would be.
Okay, just wondering.
So if you're interested in joining the Sons and Daughters of Italy, you can follow us on any of our social media platforms. On the left side, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. If you'd like to become a member, you can head to our website, osia.org. That's osia.org. And if you have any questions, you can email Justin at our national office at osia.org as well.
All right. Well, thank you, Mary, for that. Justin, thank you for being the moderator. And Doug and Laurie, thank you very much for appearing, doing such a great job. And we love working with your foundation and with Nick. And we just saw from the comments the appreciation that's throughout the country and the world for what you guys are doing for those who are afflicted with autism. And it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. And it was a pleasure and an honor having you on. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And we just have to thank, the Sons and Daughters of Italy for your support of our foundation, because we most certainly couldn't do what we do without the generous donations and the huge impact that you've made for us. So I just want to say thank you so much for being so kind and so generous and considering our foundation. And we just appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. And we want to thank Sue and Terry Latavo from the Grand Lodge of Ohio. I understand they're the autism fundraising. So thank them. And also Adam Jacobs that works closely with our foundation. So honestly, we're so appreciative of everything you've done for us and for our foundation. And because of your donations, it's helped so many individuals. So thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you. And I just want to do a quick shout out to Lisa Marie Falbo, who was supposed to be the host for tonight, but she was feeling under the weather, and I'm sure she relished the fact that she was going to get to interview you, Doug and
Aw.
Laurie, and that's, I'm sure it breaks her heart, but again, we want to do a shout out to Lisa Marie, and hope you're feeling better and
We wish her
recover.
all the best. Sorry we missed you, Lisa Marie.
Yeah, feel better. Sorry
right.
about that.
So
You owe us a Zoom.
Yeah.
we can arrange that. So we are on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our OSDIA Facebook Live interviews, and we have a still more upcoming celebrities and guests into the middle to late November. So tune in next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our next session. So that'll do it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to everyone who watched, and thank you to Doug and Laurie.
Thanks,
Okay.
guys.